Hi, good evening students. Welcome back to the online IT class. This is our second video lecture on HTML revision. In this lecture, you are going to learn about the attributes, then about the body tag attributes, then we'll learn how to add headings and paragraphs in the web page. Then we'll use some formatting elements available in HTML. But before that, let's recap what we have learned in our previous video. So we have seen HTML page structure, which starts with the doc type tag declaration, which tells the version of the HTML. Then the HTML tag, which is the HTML root element, which is the container for all the tags of HTML. Under this we have two sections, head section and body section. Head section contains the meta information, contains the meta tags about the web page, whereas the body tag contains the content that you want to show on the web page. The content is marked with the markup tags. So your HTML web page is nothing but a series of elements. These elements tells the browser how to display the content. All the elements are represented by tags. So this is an example of P tag, paragraph tag. So the P opening tag, then the content, then the P closing tag. So this combination of three is called HTML element. So this paragraph element, which contains the opening tag, content of the paragraph, and the closing tag. Next, we have also created your first web page on computer. The sample code was provided, which you have saved with firstpage.html in the practice folder, and this was the output of that. Then we have also seen demonstration on practicing HTML on mobile phone. For this, we have installed offline HTML editor, and we have typed the same code again in the mobile editor, and we have executed it, and this was the output that you received on your mobile phone. So let's begin. So again, I will bring back your old example of last lecture. So in this we have used body tag and some attributes we have used. Today we are going to talk about attributes. Here see, we have used bg color attribute, and one equal sign and one value is given. So bg color attribute is given a color value, then text attribute is used, which is given a blue color value. So bg color is used to give background color to the web page. Text attribute specifies the color for the text in the web page. So an attribute defines a property for an element. So it can also enhance the property, enhance the behavior of the element. It can add additional functionality to the element. An attribute is nothing but an attribute and value pair. And attributes are written in the opening tag of the element. So that is the start tag of the element. Now see in this example, this is P tag, and here after giving one space bar, you write the attribute name, then you write the equal sign, and then you provide the value for that attribute, and then close the angular bracket. Then comes the content of your element, and then comes the closing tag. So this is example of P tag with the align attribute, which is used to specify the alignment in the web page. So next example is of font tag. Font tag is used for changing the font color and size of the text. So here color attribute is used, which is provided with the color name value. So again it is written in the start tag, opening tag, then the content, and finally the closing tag. Now this is example of a tag which is having multiple attributes. So while writing multiple attributes, you have to maintain one space between these two attributes. Now see here, this is img tag, and we have one space here, then the src attribute and equal sign. Src attribute is provided with an attribute value, that is the name of the image file. Then one spacebar comes, then the second attribute where alt attribute is used, which stands for alternate text, and this attribute is provided with a string value, that is photo of bird, and then comes the angular bracket. Now see carefully where the space bar will come. So after writing the element name, that is img, then one space comes, then the entire attribute name equal sign and the attribute value, there is no space. And after finishing the first attribute, one space will come, then the next attribute, and finally the angular bracket. So here also there is no space. Again same, next example. This is an example of id attribute used in p tag, paragraph tag. So see the way of writing. So see that after the angular bracket there is no space bar, and then the space comes, and then the attribute name equal attribute value and the angular bracket, content, and finally the closing tag, which contains the slash, forward slash. So in the closing tag also there is no space. Now to provide the attribute values, we can use double quotes, double inverted commas, or you can also have single inverted commas. Now this is another example where an attribute value itself has double quotes. So in that case, what to do? Now this is an on-click attribute equal to is provided with one alert function. Now this alert function has actually a string value to be submitted. So here actually double quotes were there. So in such case, you can replace those double quotes with inner single quotes. So outer will have double quotes, and inside will have single quotes. If you write double quotes here also, then it will give an error. The tag will be not rendered properly. Now let's talk about the different attributes of body tag. Now we have already seen bg color, which specifies the color name or the color code for the web page background, and we have seen the text attribute, which is used to specify the color for the text. The next attribute we are going to work on is that background. Now it is used to specify the complete URL of the image file. So this is used to provide a background image in the web page. So it will come behind the text. So your URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, which is nothing but the exact path of the image file that you are going to provide. So the image file can be within your folders, or it can be on net, www, World Wide Web. So you can provide the entire website address along with the folders and image file name, or you can have the image file inside your folder. So in last video we have created one practice folder. Under that practice folder we have created some folders like img, css and js. So practically we will see that how to do. So we go to desktop and we go to our practice folder. So this is our practice folder. So here we have created some folder img, js, and this was your first page. Let's see what the output of the first page. It was this. We have created 2 lines. This is my first web page and I love my HTML. So now what we'll do, we'll have a background image in this page. So first you have to hunt for the background image. So you can go to Google search and download any image, or if you have a collection of images in your computer, you can copy one of the image here. So already I have a collection of images. I'll go there. I'll go to wallpaper. Backgrounds. Then I will copy this one of the image here. I'll copy this image and one more. So these 2 images will copy in our practice folder. Okay. Now you can have your images with your web pages. That is where the web page is located, with that also, or we can put them in img folder. The normal practice when you are creating some website, the normal practice is to have folders and put the images in the img folder. So we'll practice both now. So I'll go to img folder. In this we have copied this yellow color background image. Now what we'll do, we'll rename this to bckg. Okay, so the name of the image will be shorter. Now next thing is you have to identify what's the type of the image. So I'll just right click, go to properties. So the type of the file is jpg image and its extension is .jpg. So this you have to note down what is the extension. So your complete file name will be bckg.jpg. Okay, so you have to remember that. So we have already copied images, one in the img folder and one is outside. So what we'll do now, we'll open your first page.html in Notepad and we'll remove this background color. Instead of background color we will write background attribute and we'll provide the entire path of the file name in double quotes. So your file name was inside, your image file was inside img folder. So I'll write img slash and the complete file name, that is bckg.jpg. So this is the correct way of specifying the file name. If the file name is in the same folder where your HTML web page lies, then only file name you have to write. But if the file is in another folder, then you have to specify the complete path. Now here we are providing the relative path, यानी जो img folder जो है वो उसी फोल्डर के अंदर है जहाँ पे आपका ये फर्स्ट पेज .html है. तो हम लोग डायरेक्ट img फोल्डर लिखेंगे, स्लैश लिखेंगे और उस इमेज फाइल का नाम. So let's save this and we'll check the output. We'll refresh. So finally the image has appeared. Let's maximize. So you can see the image has covered the entire web page. So in this way we add a background image to the web page. Again I go back to practice folder. Here we have one more image called bcg1. Now we'll add this image to the background. So first again find out what type of image it is and what its extension. So it is again jpg image, but the extension is .jpeg. So you have to carefully note down what is the extension. So different image types are like .png, .webp, .gif, .jpg, .jpeg. So your image name should be proper. So now I will add this image at the background. So now this image file name is, what was the file name? So again we'll go bcg1. So here we'll directly write bcg1.jpeg. Here why we are not mentioning img folder, because your file bcg1.jpg is in the same folder where your first page.html says. Okay, so bcg1 and first page both are in the same folder. So in this case you have to directly mention the file name without specifying the path. So again we'll save this and see the output. We'll reload the page. Now you can see the new background image has occurred, but here what has happened, the image has got repeated. It got repeated horizontally, it got repeated vertically. Why this happened? Because the image size was smaller. Okay, now we'll go back, we'll go to the properties here. The dimension of the image is 259 by 194, whereas my screen resolution is 1280 by 720. So if the image is smaller than the Windows resolution, the image gets repeated. Whereas our previous image, it has a resolution of 192 into 1200. So it was a very large full HD size image. So it covered the entire web page. Whereas this new image BCG1 is of smaller size, so it got repeated. If you don't want the image to repeat it, there is no such provision in HTML that we cannot turn off the repetition of the image, but through CSS that is cascading styles sheets, we can do that. It has background dash repeat property through which we can stop the repetition, so that this image will appear only once in your web page. So in this way we can add image. So I minimize all these windows and we'll go back to our attributes of body tag. Now come below, these are link attribute, a link attribute and v link, and all these three attributes are used to specify the color for hyperlinks. When the link color, then when the link is active, and when the link has been visited. Now what are these hyperlinks? Hyperlinks are special words in a web page which stores a location of a resource on www, World Wide Web. So these hyperlinks are normally in blue color and they are underlined. So when you point such a hyperlink, your mouse arrow will become a hand, and when clicked on the hyperlink, it will take you to some another resource, that is maybe some web page, maybe some video, maybe some image. Okay. Now these hyperlinks will study later on when our hyperlink topic comes. Okay, I'll move on to our next topic. Our next topic is headings. So headings are used to give title to your web page. Now I'm not talking about the title tag, but the title inside the content, that is within the body. So it is used to give headings to your information content. Now HTML provides 6 levels of headings. So that starts from H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So H1 is the largest heading and H6 is the smallest. What these header tags will do, whatever content text you provide within these header tags, they will display the text in bold. They will change the size of the text to a large size, so that is around 40 pixels, and they will also add a blank line before and after. Now see, in this example, this is a web page about Sir Tim Berners-Lee, who is the inventor of World Wide Web. So here in this web page there are two headings, which is the name of this scientist. So it is specified by using H1 tag, whereas the another heading, early life, which is specified by H2 tag. So when to use H1 and when to use H2. So your main page heading or the main page heading of your web page will start with H1. Now whatever subheading comes will start with H2. Now if there is one more subtopic or subheading under this early life, then it will come with H3. So let's see how to use these H1 and H2. So as I've said, HTML provides an additional blank line before and after a heading in a web page. So there is no need to use BR tag when you are using headings. Align attribute is used to specify horizontal alignment. So your header tags can have this attribute called align, where you can specify the alignment, that is horizontal alignment in the web page, that you want the heading on the left side or center or right. So these are two examples, advanced web designing and one more using H2 with the align attribute. So what we'll do, we'll add these two headings in our first page.html. So again we go back to the desktop and we open our first page.html. Now here I will provide the heading H1 advanced web design, and I will close, save this, and we'll check the output. We'll refresh it. So here the heading has come. By default the alignment is on left side. You can see one line break is come before the heading and after the heading, and it has come in large size with bold effect. So now I'll change the alignment and make it to center. Again save it, refresh the page. Now see that the alignment has gone to center for that heading. Now if I maximize the window, you will see that it has gone to exact center of the window. So this alignment is as per the window size. So whatever may be the window size, the header will always come at the center. See, I am decreasing the window size, so it is adjusting itself to be at the center of the window. If I am increasing the window size, again it will adjust to be at the center of the window. And then we'll add one more header using h2. So h2 heading will come after h1 if you have any subtopic. So write down HTML introduction. So we'll save this and reload the page. So here the HTML introduction heading has come. So this h2, so size is decreased by something 25%. So same way h3 will be having size lesser than h2, the same way h4 will have a size less than h3. So in this way we give headings to a web page's content. So just minimize all this and we'll move further. Next we'll talk about paragraphs. Now to create a paragraph in a web page, p tag is used. So p tag, the opening tag will start the paragraph and p closing tag will end the paragraph. So this is the example. P tag, the paragraph start. Now this paragraph has just 2 lines. Again here we can use the align attribute where we can align the paragraph to left, center or right. So again we go back to Sir Tim Berners-Lee web page. So in that we have many paragraphs. See, there are 3 paragraphs here. So all these paragraphs are created using p tag. And then below this early life heading we also have 1 paragraph that is also being created by using p tag. So now student, this is example number 2 which you have to copy in your notebook and practice on your mobile phone or computer. It has 1 heading and 1 paragraph, and in title tag we have given my school as the title. So you have to save this file by this name, myschool.html, under practice folder. So pause the video and copy this code in your notebook. So after executing this HTML file, you should get this output where the school name will come in h1 heading and the paragraph will come. So while typing code, HTML code, many students do these types of mistakes. We'll see them. So again I go back to your first page.html. Many of you missed that this / in the title tag. So what happens, let's see. I have not typed that /, I have missed it. So title tag has started and title tag has not been closed. So what happens to the web page? So we'll reload. So you see that nothing is displayed. So entire web page rendering is stopped by the browser. So when it encounters this title tag, it starts searching where is the title closed, and it is not getting the title closed, the rendering stops. So your body tag is not executable. So these are the silly mistakes done by many of the students. So I put the / back and save it. Now I refresh. Now you will get back your web page. Another mistakes done by the students are they put extra space here, or they miss out some closing. Now say suppose I miss out this h1 closing, what will happen? So here I have added one space bar in body tag. So what happened? This tag is not rendered, is not read by the browser, so it shows you as the text and it displays that text on the window. The entire body tag line has come on the window as a text. and so you can see this background and text, both the attributes are not executed. So we go back, we add this again, and we save it. We erase the space. So you should take care that there is no space after the angular bracket. There is no space in the closing tag also. So here also there should be no space bar, and there should be space bar only one space if you are having attributes, one space after the tag name, then your attribute equal sign and the value, then one more space, then the next attribute, and then the angular bracket closed. So here also there is no space. You can have your attribute values in double quotes. Generally it's a nice practice. Sometimes you can miss those double quotes also, the code will work. So another mistake what we do, we forget the h1 tag. H1 closing we forgot, or we'll put this h1, we'll forget this h2 closing. Okay, so here we have given h2 close, h2 start open tag, but we forgot the h2 close, and save this and we'll refresh. So what happens here, h1 tag is rendered properly, now h2 tag is rendered. Now what happened, this is my first web page, came on the first line. I love HTML also came in bold and darker, similar to your h2 tag. So here what happened then, okay, h2 tag effect started from here, but h2 tag was not closed, so this entire effect of h2 continued till the entire end of the document. So till I love HTML, entire text has become heading 2. Okay. So whenever you miss the closing tag of any formatting element, the effect of that formatting starts and it goes till the end of the tag, sorry, till the end of the body. Okay. So all this care you should take while typing title tag and title close tag, and while typing all the tags, see that you do not put any space bar and do not miss out any closing tag. Okay. Now here you can see BR tag. BR tag is used to give a line break rule. So BR tag is a non-container tag, means there is no closing tag for BR. So there are few tags in HTML where you do not need a closing tag. We'll come across those tags one by one. So just minimize these. So this is the example number 2 output. What you have to do, you have to copy this and practice this on your mobile phone and computer. Next we'll see some formatting elements like B tag is there, I tag, U tag, TT. So just read out the usage of this tag. B tag is used to make the text bold, I to make it italics, U for underline, TT to display text in monospace font style. In monospace font style, every alphabet will take same equal space. This is for, see this example, R, L, I. So you can see that L is taking very less space while displaying, I is also taking less space, N is taking more space. But if you put any text under TT, every alphabet will use the same equal width. Next we have big tag. Big tag is used to increase the font size of the text by 1 unit. And then we have small to decrease the font size. You will see in your practice folder under your first page. Now what we'll do, this is my first page, we'll put it under big tag. So here I am writing big open and next is big close, and I'll save this and let's see what's the effect. So you can see first web page size has increased by 1 unit, so that is I think 2 pixels. So you can see this is and first web page. So you can see the comparison. This is the default font size, whereas first web page has increased by 1 unit. The same way small. So I love HTML, I will put here small and I close the small tag. You can see that it is closed. Now refresh. Now you can see I love HTML. Its size has decreased by 1 unit. Now this is my and compare I love HTML. So size is decreased by 1 unit. So in this way you use small tag and big tag. Now one thing is that in HTML, any white spaces you put, suppose I am adding extra space here. Here I am adding extra space here. All these spaces are ignored by the browser. So it will just put one space. I am saving this. Now you should believe that this extra space should come on the screen. So you can say nothing has come, no extra space. So in HTML, to put extra space also there is one mechanism. We have to use one ampersand NBSP code, then only we can add extra space. So that we'll see later in later lectures. Okay, so I just close down. So these are all the text formatting elements. You have to practice B tag, I tag, U tag, other this. Now next is the homework. So this homework you will be doing it tomorrow. So your homework says that you have to modify the code of example number 2. Now just now we have seen what is the code of example number 2, which you have copied, which contain one paragraph and heading, and you have to do certain things, that you have to apply bold effects to the school name सेंट जूड्स हाई स्कूल विच इज़ इन द पैराग्राफ. तो जो पैराग्राफ में सेंट जूड्स हाई स्कूल लिखा है उसको बोल्ड करना है. देन यू हैव टू अप्लाई इटैलिक्स टू सेंट डोमिनिक सेवियो एजुकेशनल सोसाइटी. तो ये वर्ड्स जो पैराग्राफ में उसको इटैलिक्स करना है, और फिर आपको क्वालिटी एजुकेशन को अंडरलाइन करना है. तो ये मॉडिफिकेशन उसी एग्जांपल नंबर 2 में आपको करना है. तो मॉडिफिकेशन करने के बाद आपको कोड फिर से कॉपी करना है होमवर्क के अंदर में. तो ये होमवर्क को भी पहले कॉपी करो नोटबुक में, और फिर कोड को मॉडिफाई करो और फिर से इसके नीचे लिखो. ओके, so with this we end our this lecture. See you in the next video tomorrow in the evening. Thank you.